Ever since Charleston White has came on the scene, he has embraced snitching. But it was all because he knew that a deep, dark secret existed involving the murder of Michael Levy, in which he testified against his best friend. Oh yeah, let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like some cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor. Click on what appears to be the thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a long lost video that has been surfacing and being played throughout the mainstream media, as well as I would consider it. It's gone viral, basically, right? And it's of Charleston White, basically testifying against his best friend and actually admitting that he passed the gun off to his best friend involving the murder of none other than Michael Levy. This is a picture right here of Charleston White actually taking the stand. As you can see, it was some years back, and involving the murder of this man, Michael Levy. And so the situation came about when they were actually stealing something from a store. And the young man was confronted by Mr. Levy, and subsequently he shot Mr. Levy and killed him. Charleston White has been someone who came onto the scene and basically, for all that we know and understand, has embraced telling, snitching, cooperating. There's two different things. When a citizen does something, right? If a citizen witnesses something in their neighborhood where they pay taxes, where they deem to be protected, that's not snitching. That's being a upstanding citizen involving something that affects you directly in your neighborhood. Let's be clear about that. Let's separate the two, right? But when someone is involved with the crime and is a co-conspirator, and for a lesser sentence, for no jail time at all, for leniency, testifies against the other person that was involved with the crime that was committed, right? People, or it's been popular, or flat out call it snitching, telling, if you will. So we understand now the manipulation game that Charleston White has pulled on everybody. Charleston White knew that this footage existed. And for all intents and purposes, I had never seen the footage before, right? And so, like I said, the things that people like to focus on is some of this community activism Charleston White has claimed that he was involved in, and all of these other things in which people like to say. But this right here is kind of, it's an eye opener. When he was trying to, what I see is he was basically trying to get in front of this tape because he knew it existed. See, he knew he testified in court. He knew that he gave his friend the gun that ultimately killed Mr. Levy, right? And he knew that when it came time to accept responsibility for his actions, He could not be the guy that he's claiming to be each and every day we see Charleston White on the internet now. We've seen him disrespect the murder and the death of our dear brother, a Gillity kid out of Philadelphia. We've seen that. Unprovoked. This salacious, I would call it disrespect, if you will, being shocking, saying shocking things. Oh, I can't believe, and trying to move the needle, if you want to call it what it is, basically trying to, get the algorithm to move. And I guess it moves for things like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, once again, and it's been numerous of people that Charleston White has attacked in that same manner. One young girl, I did a video, him making reference to some young lady, and R-wording her, and so on and so forth. But this right here comes as really no surprise, but it is a surprise. Even so much so, that little Boosie basically said, when you talk about Charleston White, leave me out of it. He's dangerous, and all of the other things. And now we see why. Not because of any kind of intelligence or any kind of uplifting spirit or uplifting words or anything like that. But Charleston White has basically been degrading the black community. I've heard him degrade, white people, Jewish people. It really doesn't matter. He'll say the most incendiary thing he can because he knows that it gets clicks and views, if you will. So with that being said, you look at this and you say, wow. And then contrast that to what we've been seeing. This guy on the internet, hooting and hollering and, even actually going after a King Von, and his children, King Von's mama, and saying all of these negative, disrespectful things just to be negative and disrespectful, when he's saying that King Von was this and King Von was that and he was involved with this. But wouldn't that be the pot calling the kettle black? Look. And none of the things that he said in reference to King Von had been convicted of. I don't, know. And so, but what we see here is someone who was caught for a crime, right? As a co-conspirator, not being able to take responsibility for the action that he committed and admitted that he gave his friend the gun. All of a sudden, he turns into a turncoat. That's what they call it. He's a turncoat, right? And now he gets before us on YouTube, on any other platform, and now tries to make us think that he is somehow the awakening to the black community as to what we need to do. Just outright, he was on the Cam Newton show, and Cam Newton threw out some names, and he threw out Will Smith's name. And Charleston White immediately, once again, said gay. Now, Charleston White wouldn't have any information as to what Will Smith's orientation is in regards to anything. Once again, it's this salacious, disrespectful, oh, I can't believe he said that, right? But now let's look at Charleston White for who he really is and why he really embraced the snitch, I would say, culture or whatever it was. He knew he was one of those guys, right? And now what he tries to claim is, I'm an upstanding citizen. No. You were convicted to being involved with a murder, right? Right? Am I right or wrong? of Mr. Levy. And knowing that you were involved in handing your friend the gun, Charleston White chose to do what? He chose to take the route of not someone who committed a crime and knew he committed a crime and accepting his responsibility. Charleston White chose to do what? Jump up on the stand and testify against his man's, his best friend. And so now, everything that Charleston White has said up until this point, it doesn't matter anymore. Because now we've seen the ploy. We've seen how he's been elevated to this status of basically a nobody. I mean, we let's be clear, he can't really act. He's not really that funny. You know what I mean? You know, and like I said, if we're trying to make something of him, he is the worst of who we are as African Americans. He is the worst of who we are as black men. Because once again, here's a guy who would go and commit a crime, right? With you, reap the benefits of the crime, walk around, if he's gonna get away with the crime, brag about getting away with the crime, right? But once he's caught for the crime, the first thing he's gonna do is this. Get on the stand and testify and trying to absolve himself of the responsibility or the role that he played in committing the crime, right? Look. You see? Check it out. Right? Here's a guy who has a criminal history and being involved in the murder of Michael Levy, in which, once again, he told on his friend for a lesser sentence. Look at it. So when he gets on these platforms, and we see him on these platforms, once again, his credibility is gone now. His credibility is gone now. And like I said, he may have done positive things in the community. He may have done some activism work, but he was also active in the murder and in the testimony and turncoat activity against his best friend after participating in the crime, in the murder of Michael Levy. You get it? So now he comes out here and, you know, he's calling all of these people, different people names, but look at him. And no shame at all. Just like, you know, as of the current day, you know, and sure, be sure, Charleston White is going to eat this up. He's going to come out and be like, I paid my debt to society and all of these things, right? That may be true according to the courts and the laws and the prosecutor that gave him the deal. But we really didn't know about this. At least I didn't anyway. But now that we do, we can put Charleston White in the proper perspective, right? And we can see why he was elevated to be the person that he is right now. You get it? So he was really nobody from the beginning, right? Claimed a few things, and I did this with the senator this, and this with the governor that, and this with the mayor this, and all of these things. But he never really talked about him taking a stand, at least I didn't hear it, against his best friend after being complicit and a co-conspirator involved in the murder, in which he says he actually gave his friend the gun. Right? So, once again, he should have been charged is just as much as his friend. But to close the case, right? I got a lyric that I say in one of my songs. and it says, I've seen people murders turn into they with the business, guys who go, they with the business, but as soon as they get caught, they turn to prosecution witnesses. Right? This is Charleston White. This is who he is. This is really who he is. There's all of the tough talking and all of that. That's really not who he is. He's trying to set somebody up to do something bad to him or try to do something bad to him. And I don't wish any bad on him. But like I said, stand up and be who you really are. Because this video right here is just sad. And like I said, may Mr. Levy's grandchildren, and if they watch this, may his children, if they're still living, grandchildren, and whoever they may be, I wish them nothing but the best. Because this being brought up again, kind of helps them relive that pain, if you will, right? But more importantly, Charleston White. He is who we thought he was. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.